Hey guys, Steve Zalunardo with Treviso Realty. We're with Janet Rushin, our managing broker for Treviso Realty. I just want to get Janet on camera because she's awesome. She's probably the reason why we purchased out here in Southwest Florida and was comfortable doing it with her. So, once we opened up a company here in the U.S., it made so much sense if Janet came on board because I feel so much more comfortable with her expertise in the area. I mean, Janet's been living in Southwest Florida for 42 years and selling for
since 95.
95, God bless.
Yes, and before that I was involved in the advertising and marketing area. So I've been doing Southwest Florida real estate for a long, long time.
Amazing. I always tell clients that like Janet knows every blade of grass through Southwest Florida. How did you see the change, Janet, in real estate? Since, I mean, it's for 42 years, I mean, this place has morphed, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yes. I mean, half the roads that are here now, Stephen, they weren't here when I first came here. So it's almost overwhelming if you didn't start at the beginning, as it were, to keep up with the different subdivisions and areas. And I was fortunate in that respect. I remember when many or most of the communities here were started from the ground up. So it would be very difficult to come in and learn it all at this point, to go back and learn the history of all of these places. So
absolutely, for sure. And this is coming on board, obviously, because we're between countries, Canada and the U.S.
Right.
It was just so important to have someone like yourself and your knowledge, specifically leading our clients back home into like buying products and feeling confident and comfortable buying everything. And we've done a few deals now in the last year, which is great. And obviously this year we're going to gear up based on the Florida market, how it's outperforming every other state of America.
Yes, I know. It's always, we have our national statistics and then we have Florida statistics. So Florida is always a little bit different because we are such a resort-oriented area. People come here for their second homes. Not quite the same as say an Ohio second market or such like that. Nothing against Ohio. I love my Ohio people too. But most of the Canadians that I've dealt with in the past, and I have had quite a few Canadian customers before Stephen, that more what they're looking for as a second home or a seasonal type of investment or a seasonal type of residence. So yeah, it's just a different approach a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Even when we started our little project there in Fort Myers, when we started dealing with you, I was obviously been in the business for 13 years selling real estate in high volume back home, and I'm also a businessman, so I was testing you the whole process, and I there was no slip up, and everything was straightforward, on the ball, all the information I needed, because I think even back home we had a misconception with Floridians where it was like it's gonna be more of a laid back pace, and then I met you, and it was like, oh, there's no laid back pace here. These guys hustle more than the Toronto agents, because I would message you even at odd hours. I'm like, I hope she doesn't respond. And it's like, okay, bang, 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 you got me info, which was amazing, especially when you're looking to make a decision. And then you always say that I made a decision too fast. You said like you just like bang, 2 weeks, but it was because of your knowledge that I was able to kind of push forward and feel confident and make that decision.
Well, I wouldn't say you made it too fast, Stephen, but you made it faster than most people.
Fair enough.
Because you were prepared, I think,
yes,
to
for
do
sure.
it. But many people do need a little time to wrap their heads around certain things and get an idea and feel comfortable with it, and that's fine. I mean, I'm used to dealing with people to make sure that they're comfortable and ready and have all the information you have. And you just happen to be a little bit more prepared than most people, probably because you have been in real estate for so long.
Fair enough, yeah.
So I won't say you did it too fast, but you certainly did it fast. So.
No, it's awesome.
But yeah, it's been great and interesting to get another aspect too I dealt with a lot of Canadians, but I didn't have a real expert in the Canadian market like you to kind of give me feedback on what's going on up there. So that helps me help other Canadians as well.
Absolutely, so, yeah. It's definitely great. What do you forecast for 2023? What do you see?
Oh, let me get the crystal ball out here. Oh, darn it, it's looking kind of cloudy. I'm not quite sure. The powers that be are really calling for it to be more of a normal market this year. and I would say that would be going back to more of a pre-COVID type of normal. There will be sales. The pace may not be quite as incredibly swift as it has been in the past several years. Although from my personal experience, it's certainly this year has gotten off to a very fast start, and a lot of volume and a lot of activity. But again, the powers that be, the people who spend their hours and hours examining all the economic trends are calling for a little bit more of a normal market. Maybe this may be one of those times that Florida is the outlier, like so frequently it is, and our market may be a little bit speedier than other markets. I'm not calling for a slowdown or a drop or anything like that, really. I think it's just going to be a nice, busy market, and I like that.
Yeah, I'll second that. I think ultimately coming into 2023, just based on Toronto, like we've dipped dramatically there. I think this year is going to be even more of a dramatic year for Toronto. And I've been preaching about how the migration is #1 migrating state of America is Florida. They just released this last week regarding business applications, over 600,000 business applications in the state of Florida. Miami's second to New York. Imagine that. And then Naples is 11th in the nation for amount of applications for businesses. So so Florida's changed where people are moving out here not as a secondary property owner anymore. It's more of like families like myself come here to invest, to build a future, and build up Florida to be greater than to make it. It's always been great, but make it even greater. Like add to it, and it's just so. Just short story, I was messaging you yesterday, like I spoke to our contact at Lennar in North Fort Myers, and she said that they sold too many properties this month, and we're in January 20th today, so they sold too many properties in the last couple months, and now they're forced to stop the selling. And it's not a subdivision, or a community rather, that has only like 10 houses left. It's got, I think, 2 years of supply, they were saying, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So they have many houses to sell, and not to mention, next month they're going back to bidding.
Well, yes, and that's a problem that we've had. The builders can't keep up. Because of the supply chain issues that we have, they're even more behind than they normally would be. I think if we didn't have so many supply issues, there might not be that pressure and thing to stop and catch up, but they have to be able to deliver the product in a timely fashion, so they have to put a pause on building. Just because they can't oversell, so they can't overpromise and not deliver. So
Fair enough.
Now that's that community. I'm not sure that's with all their communities, but I can see it getting to that point possibly, because I know they have another brand new community that has just come out of the ground, and they've already had substantial sales in there within a month's time. So there's certainly a demand here. But the fortunate thing is there's also resale properties. And many of the resale properties are relatively new. So there is always that option if you're thinking of a home in Florida. You don't have to buy new because sometimes while new is wonderful, it does have its own set of unique challenges because, again, supply chain, bidding processes and things like that. The resales are here and they're available as well, and many of them are newer. So, and concrete block doesn't age badly. So, it's going to be here for a while. So you just have to take care of it. And so that's always an option as well to consider. So that's something that we have to look at as well for people, depending on their needs and the immediacy and, the different situations.
I always liked resale, even back in Toronto, just based on you can close it quickly, like 30, 60,
Exactly.
90 days, and you can kind of time your mortgage rate if you're getting a mortgage.
Exactly. You have a little more control over that.
Yeah.
And you also have some benefits there's certain things that people may have upgraded and done to a home that you wouldn't get with a brand new home.
Fair enough.
So, there's always...
Even Pulte, they have Pulte. We're actually in the Yorkshire in the Verdana Village, my favorite spot, because I own a property here. It's getting built physically right now, so I'm very bullish
practicing.
on the Verdana
Yes.
Village site here. But even they have quick move-ins, which is quite good. Like they have a Yorkshire that's ready to go now, just off of Napa
Right.
Loop. So that's at a fair price.
Yeah, it's just, neither one is bad. It's just whatever depends on your circumstances and what you're looking for and your unique situation. So that's what we do, is figure out what's going to work best for you.
Awesome. We're going to wrap it up. This is Janet Rushin, again, managing broker of Treviso Realty. I get expert on the ground. Anything you need, we always reach out to us direct at 647-962-4372. We'd be happy to accommodate you and get you situated here in the state of Florida.